The eighth step of 8 steps into the mastermind consciousness is I dedicate my life. I believe in my divine good and in the powerful promise that connects us all. I dedicate myself to be of maximum service to those around me. I commit to living my life in a manner that sets the highest example for others to follow. I am open and responsive to divine guidance. I go forth with the spirit of enthusiasm, excitement, and expectancy. I am at peace. Step 8 is the capstone of the 8 steps into the mastermind consciousness. This technology, this tool that we use as we gather together to be able to manifest in our lives, to transform our lives, to be able to bring forward into our experience a lot of what we don't even believe that would be possible for ourselves. Our mastermind partners seeing our way forward. You remember this mastermind process starts with surrendering and then believing, readying ourselves for change, deciding to be changed, clearing the way so that what we want to manifest and what we want to experience has room to emerge by forgiving others and forgiving ourselves. And then we take that giant leap of faith by asking what it is that we want to have happen in our lives. So often, if it wasn't for our mastermind partners, we would never, ever utter those requests, let alone have the belief that they could come true. But in that experience, in that moment, when we're believing for others and they are believing for us, something special comes. It is that fulfillment of the scripture of where 2 or more are gathered. And then we give thanks. And step 8 focuses on dedicating our lives to living the very principles that we're talking about, that we're living, that we're practicing. I remember the very first time I ever attended a mastermind meeting. I grew up in a very fundamentalist religious experience, a very literal interpretation of the Bible, one that was very disempowering and separating and causing us to live in a world of an angry God. My family was part of the Jehovah's Witnesses. I remember attending my very first mastermind meeting. I was 15 years old in our spiritual community. I listened to teens one by one share their requests, their mastermind request. Some of those requests were huge. There was a need for healing. There was a desire to be able to experience something that they wanted in life. I was about halfway through the room, and when it came to me, I decided that I was going to be really honest and say what I wanted. I had never been part of an experience in a religious center ever before that my prayer mattered. My request mattered. I asked for a new job because I hated working at Burger King. And the next morning, that was a Sunday night, I walked into my high school and walked in to meet with my counselor. And on the bulletin board outside his office was those little pink slips with a job posting, part-time job. I am now the CEO of the very organization that was posted on that pink slip when I went to see him the next morning. I was hired a few months later as a part-time employee, but Burger King was behind me, and what I didn't believe was possible had manifested itself the very next morning. In our spiritual community, I have watched and witnessed so many mastermind requests that seem to be a leap way too far. But because of the power of gathering together and believing in each other, lives have been changed, transformed, and experiences that never thought possible were as real as those mastermind requests were.